Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liz Reichart. I am a Senior Energy Policy Specialist for Energy Efficiency in Buildings at the Department of Commerce. I'm joined today by two of my Commerce colleagues, Brittany Wagner, the Program Manager for Appliance Standards, and Glenn Blackman, the Manager of the state's Energy Policy Office. We're excited to be here and kick off rulemaking on the appliance standards in Engrossed Substitute House Bill 1619. I'm going to share my screen. Just for some context, our mission at Commerce is to strengthen communities, and the State Energy Office and the Appliance Standards Program fit squarely within that mission. At today's workshop, we're hoping to give you some context about what House Bill 1619 directs Commerce to do with our existing appliance standards and how appliance standards will show up in the state's rules. Then we'll go on to review the draft rules Commerce has developed and gather input from workshop attendees. Commerce published draft rules back in August, and I will give an overview of those after we give some general appliance standards context. And let me give that context now. RCW 19.260 is where our state's appliance standards sit in statute. This chapter was created in 2005 and has been amended throughout the years. Appliances have been added and removed as we've been preempted. Most recently in 2022, the legislature passed Engrossed Substitute House Bill 1619, and this past March, Governor Inslee signed it into law. Here are the big functions of Engrossed Substitute House Bill 1619. It establishes standards where they did not before exist for electric vehicle supply equipment, commercial ovens, and air purifiers. And it updates existing standards for 3 products where there were existing standards already, and that's commercial hot food holding cabinets, residential ventilating fans, and portable electric spas. The legislation defines what does or does not qualify in each of these products and categories and establishes a standard, an effective date of January 1st, 2024 for all of these standards, except for commercial hot food holding cabinets, which went into effect back in June, which we'll talk about. So here's Commerce's role in now translating 1619 to our rules. We will add 3 new products, update 3 products, and remove 2 federally preempted products. For those of you new to appliance standards, the federal government can, through the Department of Energy, choose to set a national standard for certain products. They do this with products like refrigerators. States who already have standards in place get preempted, and this is the case for Washington. In the past couple of years, we've been preempted on uninterruptible power supplies, or UPS, and residential pool pumps. And the good news is the national standard is one that is equivalent in energy savings to what Washington had in its rules. Here's a brief look at the rulemaking schedule for the rest of the year. We are currently in the September rulemaking workshop. From here, we hope to gather feedback and public comment and publish updated draft rules. We will give folks a month to kind of digest those and get more feedback in November before filing final language. Before we go into reviewing draft language, we are accepting comments through September 30th on the draft rules that have been published and were included in the invite to this workshop. But we will continue to accept public comment written throughout the fall up until filing the CR 103. The public hearing is another opportunity to come and give verbal comment. All right, let's get into these proposed rule changes. I'll have screenshots of the changes up on my screen, but it might also be helpful to have the draft rules document pulled up. I also want to take a moment to familiarize folks with our rules in WAC 194-24. This is how a rules chapter is structured, and this is how our appliance rules are currently structured. So you can see the array of appliances that Washington currently regulates. And now highlighted in green are the specific WACs which are impacted by 1619, plus 4 new sections that are not here right now, which we will be adding through rulemaking. All right, we're starting with the definitions at the top of the chapter, and this section was developed because we have so many rules that reference California's Title 20, where they keep their appliance standards. The new legislation deemed that portable electric spas in particular will now be one of those standards that reference Title 20, and thus it gets added to this definition section. I'll pause after each of these. You can feel free to submit written comments at any time to appliances@commerce.wa.gov. And it's also worth repeating that the definitions for each of these appliance categories, with the exception of those on your screen, which follow the California definition, are in state statute. So that is chapter 19.260. So the definitions of each of these product categories are not in our rules. Moving on to specific product sections, the Department of Energy issued a final rule on residential pool pumps effective July 2021. So pool pumps are now regulated at the national level. So as a cleanup measure, we're removing the state standard for this product. (1619) updates the standard for portable electric spas manufactured on or after January 1st, 2024. Our rules currently reference an American National Standard Institute, or ANSI ICC 2014 standard and test method. Both these would be updated to reflect more recent standards and test methods, the California rule, and a more recent ANSI test method. Let us move on to commercial hot food holding cabinets. So this change is actually just to the standard and the test method. It changes the standard from a discrete formula to Energy Star 2.0. This does not actually result in any energy savings. The two standards are equivalent, but it is now a standard by reference, meaning that Commerce could update this standard later by rule as hot food holding cabinet technology develops and new Energy Star standards are produced. That's something we wouldn't be able to do with a discrete formula, hence why this is the only product that does not have an effective date of 2024. This would go into effect immediately because all hot food holding cabinets should already be performing at this Energy Star standard. And finally, on the same product category, just wanted to show folks that we've cleaned up the test method to reflect the fact that we're moving to Energy Star 2.0, which uses that test method up in the first line. All right, moving on to residential ventilating fans. And in reflecting the intent of 1619, we actually decided to split this product up into 2 different sections, and I'll explain why. The first changes we made were to the existing WAC, and they were to preserve Energy Star 3.2 as the standard for these fans before January 2024. So we've structured this change in a way so that the existing rule applies to equipment manufactured between January 1st, 2021 and December 31st, 2023. And the new rule applies to equipment manufactured after January 1st, 2024, which would need to comply with Energy Star 4.1. And you can find a definition of what qualifies under all of these product categories in statute or in House Bill 1619. So this is a two-part change that we're asking folks to digest. Uninterruptible power supplies, much like pool pumps, were federally preempted by a Department of Energy standard effective in March 2020. As such, we can clean up this rule by removing it altogether, as we no longer regulate this product. And now into our new product categories, beginning with air purifiers. This would be a new section added to WAC 194-24 with an effective date of January 1st, 2024. House Bill 1619 specified version 2.0 of the Energy Star standard for room air cleaners and has specific testing, listing, and marking methods associated with that standard. Moving on to commercial ovens. Similar to air purifiers, this new section reflects that standard specified by 1619, Energy Star 2.2, and its related testing, listing, and marking methods. And finally, electric vehicle supply equipment, or EVSE. You can read in statute or the bill the definitions that these are electric vehicle chargers and not the actual electric vehicles themselves or any of the connecting bits. This establishes Energy Star 1.0 effective January 1st, 2024. We are also accepting written comments at appliances@commerce.wa.gov. You can see that email address on your screen. Throughout this rulemaking process, you can submit those comments at any time. Any questions before we adjourn for the day? If you are not already subscribed to the Appliance Standard Bulletin, you can visit the Commerce Appliances website and sign up for rulemaking updates. When we take the next step and file draft rules in a CR 102, we will announce it on the website and via the bulletin. You can expect that within the next couple weeks. Thank you very much for your participation in this workshop and enjoy the rest of your day.